Hello and welcome to Trashy, where we take a dumpster dive on this week's garbage people and all the trashiest news stories. My name is Erica and I am your host.
My name is Cassandra and I'm your other host. Hi.
Hi Cass, how are you?
Oh, I'm ready to come back with a vengeance. We didn't have an episode last week. My grandma died, like they do, like we all will someday. So I was unavailable, but I'm doing better. I appreciate everyone who reached out. That meant a lot to me. Back with a vengeance.
Hell yeah. Well, again, I'm sorry to hear that, but I know that, she'll be rest and loved, and you were in my thoughts all week.
Oh, that's nice. You're in my thoughts usually all week, regardless.
Yes.
But I'm glad I made it to yours this week. How are you doing, Erica?
I am doing okay. I also had a bit of a scare, a bit of a week, so I've recovered. Everything's fine.
Pregnancy?
No. Don't you put that evil on me, Cassandra. Don't you put that evil on me.
Erica, why are you trash this week?
I'm trash because I have teeth that are made out of chalk. I have very, very weak teeth. And I was born with an extra tooth between my two front teeth. So I grew a little bit of a gap as that tooth was trying to come down, and it had to be surgically removed to keep me from having 3 front teeth.
Oh, Erica, 3 teeth.
Oh, Erica Fang. Oh, Erica 3-toother. And then most recently, I've always had cavities. I brush my teeth. I don't take sugar on the teeth. I do everything I can to keep these teeth white and strong. But I've almost always had a cavity every time I've gone into the dentist in my adult life, except for the last couple of years. It's as if my teeth have strengthened in some way.
What'd you do?
I don't know. I haven't changed a damn thing. I'm not eating extra calcium. I'm not doing anything that you would do, but I had a root canal on one of my teeth. And after the root canal, they said, no, you know what? We're going to have to extract the entire tooth. So I am missing a tooth. And I should have had a surgical implant put in, but at the time I didn't have any money. So I've just been holding off, and I have one less tooth than everyone else.
My roommate's teeth are also made of paper. So that's why I was wondering if you did anything. She chipped it once and wouldn't, and this is when we weren't living together and we were just friends, and she wouldn't show anyone what it looked like when it was chipped. So it kind of let our imaginations go wild to what she must have looked like with that chipped front tooth. I've got great teeth, but they have been ruined because of my own, poorness over my 20s. And so my wisdom teeth, I didn't get them taken out when I needed to. Probably took me about 6 or 7 years before I finally did it, of just like, sometimes it would hurt, ibuprofen, and then it wouldn't hurt for a while, and then it would hurt. Like, I did that for years because I couldn't afford to get them taken out. So now my bottom teeth are all pushed together, like in a way that looks like kind of like Will Ferrell's bottom teeth.
Okay.
So they look really fucking bad. And I can see it. I can always see it. It kills me.
I've never noticed, but
Thanks.
This isn't a visual medium.
No, it's not. So thank God. Now the listeners, they can run wild. Or you just like watch my Instagram stories and I zoom in on my face and everyone's like, fuck.
How are you trash this week?
It is not just how I am trash, Erica. This week I'd like to just get into how me and my family was trash. So my grandma passed away, and so when she went to hospice, I hopped a plane quickly and I got to Denver so I could say my goodbyes. And I stayed with one of my cousins who listens to this podcast, and we had my other cousin with us who I don't think does, which is pretty fucking rude. So the 3 of us gals we had a night where we just like, it was like the Saturday night I was there, because I was like there from like Friday night to Sunday morning. Like I was really not gone long. It was just the exact time that I would have been recording Trashy Trashy. But we spent that Saturday night, just the three of us gals, just drinking and just talking so much shit, like riling each other up. My boyfriend, who was not doing really anything wrong that day and that night, by the end of all of us talking shit, I was like fighting with him. Like it's like the feeling that you get like when you watch Lemonade, for the first time, Beyonce's
Uh-huh.
Lemonade, and you're like, "Welp, guess I gotta dump the person I'm with because they are a lying, cheating piece of shit." So we riled each other up for no reason whatsoever. And like also like giggled about it while we did it. Like I think one of them called out like, "We're bad people." And like we just like laughed and laughed and laughed. So, sometimes it's nice to just revel, be little pigs and roll around in your slop of little trashness, or raccoons playing in the garbage. Like that was definitely the vibe of my last Saturday night. So it was fun.
I've had those nights. I feel like I've had those nights with you,
Yeah.
and uh, so there's a common thread, but
That seems wrong. Yeah, so just I gotta like toss my phone out if I'm gonna have nights like that,
yeah.
because I had some splaining to do the next day.
Well, speaking of getting all riled up, should we get into our first story?
Yes, this is a great story, and it was sent in to us by a listener.
Yes, Elisa in Nashville. This is from Vice.com. A 90-year-old North Hollywood resident, Aaron Epstein, has been an AT&T customer since the 1960s. He's been with the company so long, he witnessed the 1982 breakup of Ma Bell and watched the telecom giant slowly but surely reconstruct itself. Even so, he has a Pacific Bell email address, despite the brand being discontinued in 2002. This week, he took to the Wall Street Journal with a ad berating the CEO of AT&T because he cannot get anything of 3 Mbps's in 2021.
Now, I don't know what all that means, but according to Mr. Aaron, who I'm going to call him so that we're not calling him Mr. Epstein, that AT&T advertises speeds up to 100 Mbps, and he's only getting 3. So he took out this quarter page ad in both Dallas, where AT&T's headquarters are, and in New York, where the investors are.
Now, I love nothing more than somebody being petty.
Mm-hmm.
And petty only gets better with age.
Oh, yes. Like, this guy's smoking us because all we can do is take to Twitter and Yelp. He's like, no, take it old school. Take out a quarter page ad in the Wall Street Journal.
That's an $1,100 ad.
But, like, so effective because not only did you take out a newspaper ad for people to read, but also it went viral.
Oh, yeah. I mean, if Vice picks it up, it's gone mainstream.
Some 90-year-old tweeting about AT&T's, no one's going to pick that up. They're going to be like, okay, like, relax.
He's been a customer since 1930. His family has been a customer since 1930, before he was born.
But so it was his first phone line in 1960, which I'm like, damn, bro, you like waited 30 years to get your own phone. But maybe I, misunderstood that. I don't need to come for him. He's going through enough. North Hollywood has terrible AT&T service. AT&T has received an estimated $42 billion tax break during the Trump era, and the company claimed that it would result in thousands of new high-paying jobs, which if you live in this country long enough, you're like, no, it won't. It never does. And in fact, they laid off a bunch of people.
Yeah.
So AT&T is just swimming around in a Scrooge McDuck pool of money and giving really shit service.
He pays around $110 every month for 2 voice lines in his DSL line.
Now, DSL is not a thing that's offered anymore. Do you think that like one of these people, when they get him on the phone, say, "Sir, would you like to upgrade your DSL line?"
Yeah, 100%. He's
Like,
the
I'm not trying to
best.
be on AT&T's side here, but like he is mad that his DSL is going slow. And like we might have some younger listeners who don't even know what DSL is. It was like the weird middle point between dial-up and then there was DSL and then there's whatever it is now. I don't
Wi-Fi?
why not, is it Wi-Fi though? It's like MBSP. Who fucking knows? That's the problem. Only AT&T and what's the one I use?
Sprint and
Spectrum.
Spectrum. Yeah.
Verizon has one too, but Spectrum is like, it was like Charter, and then it had like fucking 5 different names because all these companies do is merge because it's a monopoly and they operate illegally, not technically, but like what they are doing should be illegal. And it's one of the reasons why we are a first world country with some of the worst internet service in the world, is because we have no competition set out because of shitty laws that allow these big monopolies to exist. So,
but the
kudos,
free market,
the free market, baby. Yeah, good job, Mr. Aaron. I don't know if this is going to suddenly make the government go, "Hey, man, we should open up these lines so that people can be more competitive and have more options." Because, I mean, that's the other thing is if you live in LA, like I can call Spectrum as much as I want and say, "Give me a lower price. I'm going to find another internet provider." And they're going to be like, "Okay.
Good luck."
Like,
yeah.
Who are you going to find? No one services your area but us.
Call me back, sister. Bye.
Yeah, you're going to fucking set out a fiber optic light and pretend like Verizon or something. Fuck you. I will say this. I think I've cheated the system. So my roommate's been on the same Spectrum plan for a while. And when I moved in with her, I obviously had to cancel my Spectrum plan for my old place. And so I called them because it's like $30 more for the same exact thing. I'm like, "What's up, you guys?" And they're like, "Oh, well, you were under a promotional price." I said, "Well, give it to me." And they said, No, no, no. They're like, "She's been a customer for too long, so she's not eligible." And so I said, What happens if she cancels her service and I start a new one?" And then they were quiet for a second. They said, "Well, then you get the promotional price." So the plan is we're going to go the day before the bill, because they won't prorate the rate, because why should they? They're the boss here. And we're going to go and we're going to cancel her service, and I'm going to be right behind her in line and go, "I'd like to start a new service." And we're going to save $30 a month. So fuck you.
That's outrageous, but also brilliant on your part.
You know, if you're willing to do the extra legwork, you save yourself some money, I guess. I don't know.
Well, if only our next story had just done a little bit more legwork, they could have gotten out of the situation that they were in.
We got 2 links for this. We got Fox News, and thank you, Erica, for thinking Fox News is not reputable enough for this podcast that you also included another link from New York Post.
Happy to be of service.
We can assure you these stories are legit. Massachusetts serial pooper busted for defecating in a parking lot 8 times.
A Massachusetts woman was busted for allegedly turning a store parking lot into her own personal potty, pooping there a staggering 8 times in roughly a month.
Dubbed the parking lot pooper, Andrea Grosser, 51, of Ashland, was allegedly caught dropping trout near the Natick Outdoor Store on Wednesday morning, according to MetroWestDailyNews.com, which I imagine is another reputable news source.
Nothing but the best for my babies. My little trash cans. Police said they have been investigating since the fecal matter began showing up last month.
At first, workers thought it was an animal, but then they noticed toilet paper and other wipes, items animals would not have access to. some wonderful police work there, Lieutenant Cara Rossi. Hey, animals can't wipe their butts.
Now listen, when I read stories like this, it cancels out a cab 100%. This is give more funding to this police station.
There's good eggs here.
There's good eggs.
After staking out the site, cop allegedly spotted Grocer letting her bowels loose out of the door of her 2018 Lincoln MKX SUV just before 7 a.m. God damn it, Matthew McConaughey. See who you're selling these cars to?
You've got to think of the middle-aged women.
Yeah, like that's going to be the new ad is Matthew McConaughey rubbing his fingers together sensually and going, sometimes you gotta pull over and take a shit outside of your Lincoln.
When confronted, she told the officer she had irritable bowel syndrome and was on her way to a job as a nanny, the police report says.
They reached out to the people who were employing her as a nanny, and they confirmed she could have just pooped at their house.
You have to understand, as a fellow IBS sufferer, I understand what she's going through.
Okay.
But it can almost always wait.
Here's the thing. Look, I don't have IBS, but I get it. Like sometimes you don't want to poop at the place you're going to go to. Although if you're just a nanny, it's like, what's the kid going to do? Tell on you for having stinky shits? They lie. But like, I've had things where like, you know, like, oh, I got to go to an acting class or something. And there's only one bathroom in the acting class. Like, I'm going to go to the Coffee Bean on La Cienega and 3rd. And that's where I'm going to poop. In the bathroom, not in the parking lot, in the bathroom. And then I can go to my class and not, you know, get caught for pooping.
Yeah.
You gotta find your places. And that's all this woman was doing. She was just finding her place that she went to poop before she went to work. Is that a crime?
It's in public. If I can see your bare ass, it's almost always a crime.
Well, you know what? Her lawyer called her a pillar of the community.
Who works full time.
Yeah. So I think we all need to not take advantage of our neighborhood poopers and remember that they are one of the reasons why our communities keep going. She
is due back in court March 2nd.
The store owner, by the way, said, I'm so happy they arrested her. I have no idea who she is. This has been ongoing. She has defecated quite often over here. There's nothing more disgusting coming into your parking lot in the morning and seeing a pile of human excrement. And then the cops said, allegedly human, because they hadn't found the toilet paper yet.
Fund the police.
Oh, God. You know who we shouldn't fund?
Oh, our next story. Let's get into it.
According to the dailymail.co, another wonderful website, exclusive. Embattled QAnon Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene openly cheated on her husband of 25 years with a polyamorous tantric sex guru and then moved on to another affair with the manager at her gym.
Marjorie Taylor Greene had affairs with tantric sex guru Craig Ivey and fitness gym manager Justin Tway, the dailymail.com has learned.
The embattled Congresswoman, 46, has been married to husband Perry Greene since 1995 and shares 3 kids with him.
Neither man denied the affairs when approached by dailymail.com, but both refused to comment on their past relationship with Taylor Greene.
I have no interest in talking about anything to do with that woman. Everything with her comes to no good, said Tway, 42. Damn, she hurt Justin Tway.
Yeah.
That doesn't sound good. Hey, I'm not trying to just shit on this whole story because I'm glad that we're talking about it. I'm certainly not trying to poop on it in a parking lot. But am I crazy that I don't give a flying fuck about, like, Congress people's marriages?
No. No, you're not crazy.
Like, I don't care about barely anyone's marriage. Like, if people have affairs and stuff like that, I guess that, you know, some people are like, well, that shows what kind of person they are and like that affects their judgment and blah, 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 blah. And it's like, well, I mean, I guess, but like she believes in QAnon and like supports like shooting Democratic like congressmen. Like I don't give a fuck if she's in a weird sex triangle. That makes the most sense.
I just love that she met them at the same gym. That's what's trashy to me, is like, you don't shit where you eat and you only get to pick once.
She shows up to the gym. She came to slay, you know? I don't know. She wears really slutty gym clothes from what I understand.
And well, and it makes the gym culture off, because now you've got to pick a side. Are you with Tway? Are you with Taylor Green? Are you with Ivy? Like, it messes up the whole feng shui.
If you're a tantric sex guru, such as Craig Ivey, of course you're going to have an affair with him. Well, you can't turn that down.
It's just obvious.
Yeah. If someone comes up to you and says, "Hi, I'm Craig Ivey. I'm actually a polyamorous tantric sex guru. Would you like to have a drink?" I'm pretty sure you can't say no according to the Constitution, right?
It's actually the 41st Amendment.
Yeah, the forefathers knew that one was going to be important. So, you know, another example why Marjorie Taylor Greene is a goddamn patriot.
Oof. Taylor Green said that in response to the dailymail.com's request for comment, it was another attempt to smear my name because I'm against the biggest threat to the Democrats' socialist agenda.
Well, that's true.
Yeah, it's 100% true.
She is, in fact, a pretty big threat to the Democrat socialist agenda. I had a dream last night that my mom was complaining about her phone not working. And then I saw that she had added a function to it, like a QAnon function to her phone. And I was like, "What the fuck is this, Mom?" And she's like, "I don't believe this stuff. I'm just doing it to appease your uncle." And then, like, I looked out the window and, like, there was my uncle, like, screaming QAnon stuff like fucking John Cusack in a movie, like, just outside. And I'm like, this is bullshit. And I woke up, like, heated. I was like, QAnon, Mom? Like, I almost, like, texted people, be like, I had a dream about my mom and QAnon. But then I was like, oh, this is much more effective and a much bigger platform. I'm going to bring it up on this podcast.
I recall a story about John Cusack that when interviewed about who scared him, or who's he said John Cusack is the scariest person. And like, Danny Trejo's been to prison.
Oh, Danny Trejo. Okay.
Yeah. Like, Danny Trejo's been to prison and said John Cusack it was on some podcast, said like, that's who scares me. He said he's the most intense, like, eyes he's ever seen.
I mean, okay.
Yeah. I don't know. I just wanted to share that story about John Cusack.
Do you think he's probably really scary?
There's something there. I see it. I see it.
Tell
in
you
the
what,
eyes.
I've never seen John Cusack and the devil in the same room.
You know who I have seen in the same room with the devil because they're best friends?
Wow. Who?
Justin Timberlake.
Oh, my problematic king. What have you done again?
According to Variety.com, Justin Timberlake apologizes to Britney Spears and Janet Jackson. Quote, "I failed."
In the wake of accusations of sexism and misogyny against Justin Timberlake regarding his treatment of former girlfriend Britney Spears and the wardrobe malfunction with Janet Jackson at the Super Bowl in 2004, he has apologized to both women in an Instagram post. Class act.
"I've seen the messages, tags, comments, and concerns, and I want to respond," he wrote. "I am deeply sorry for the time in my life where my actions contributed to the problem, where I spoke out of turn or did not speak up for what was right. I understand that I fell short of these moments and many others and benefited from a system that condones misogyny and racism. I specifically want to apologize to Britney Spears and Janet Jackson, both individually, because I care for and respect these women and I know I failed."
In both cases, the reasons for his apology reach back nearly 20 years. He and Spears dated when they were both teen stars, and during that time, he said publicly that he had slept with her and later vaguely accused her of cheating on him. a narrative that played out in the video for his 2002 song Cry Me a River, which features an actress who resembled Spears. An actress? Wasn't it Scarlett Johansson? This is not
Oh,
simply an actress. Scarlett Johansson, don't you fucking edit that out. I'm so stupid and I want them to know. I'm just kidding. You can edit that part out. Scarlett Johansson, Justin Timberlake, What Goes Around Comes Around. She was in that one, which,
wrong video.
but like similar subject matter.
Mm-hmm. And what I just want to get to with this curly-headed devil,
Whoa.
allegedly, is
Yeah.
the fact that he says, I want to apologize to two women, both individually. Both and individually they do not come together. Does that make sense? Like,
Specifically
you
want to apologize to these two both individually.
both individually in one group text app.
Yeah. I mean, as Cody Rigsby from Peloton said, this is too late.
This is 20 years too late. Also because Cody said, do better.
Do better. Yeah, because they let Justin Timberlake perform again at the Super Bowl, but they didn't let Janet Jackson perform, which doesn't make any fucking sense because he was the one who pulled off the part of her outfit. Like, she didn't go out there ready to show a boob, and yet she got banned because the boob happens to be attached to her body. It doesn't make any sense. Like, that's when he should have been. First of all, he should have been apologizing to Janet Jackson then.
100%.
But like, definitely apologize at least the next time that you perform at the Super Bowl, which was 2018. I mean, he ruined Janet Jackson's career, essentially.
Yeah, he returned to the Super Bowl in 2018.
And yeah, the Britney Spears stuff, I felt like I was not old enough at the time, but I do remember at the time being a little bit like, what is the obsession over her virginity? And I think I brought this up last podcast, but like, yeah, it doesn't help that Justin Timberlake is going on fucking Howard Stern being like, yeah, I fucked her. Like, trying to like be tough and stuff, so that he could separate himself from a boy band image. Like, shut the fuck up, Justin. Man, it's really hard for me to say that because damn it, I like some of his music a lot. Future Sex Love Sounds is an awesome album.
And the Trolls soundtrack, that's what Cassandra's favorite is.
Can't stop the feeling. So good. Oh man. You know what's not so good?
What?
The Gorilla Glue challenge. The fuck?
The fuck? According to dailymail.co.uk, I thought I could lick it off. Man who superglued a solo cup to his face for idiotic Gorilla Glue challenge ends up in the ER after accusing mom who got adhesive stuck in her hair of lying.
Okay. I didn't know that Tessica Brown, the Gorilla Glue girl, was a mom. So that's a new wrinkle to the story that I didn't know, that it's just striking me now that we should probably be nicer to her.
Oh, 100%. Like, society owes her an apology.
Like I said, when she came up, the people who need to be apologizing is got to be glue spray. But so this guy basically, this Los Angeles resident, Len Martin, yeah, you think we only come for Oklahoma and Florida on this podcast. This guy is LA, baby. He was convinced that Tessica was lying or exaggerating. So he tried the Gorilla Glue challenge, which is about as fucking stupid as eating Tide Pods. But hey, here we are. This is Darwinism, baby.
He glued a red plastic cup around his nose and had to go to the emergency room for doctors to remove it.
He said they discussed surgery and removing it, and it involved painful peeling.
Martin, who is originally from Louisiana, is warning others not to follow his lead, saying it's very harmful.
Oh, so he's not LA born and raised. All right. Well,
but he lives here now.
Okay, fine. But the South still has to answer for him. Yeah. Hey, what? You see this woman who's going through all these surgeries to get her fucking hair fixed, which she did finally get it fixed. And you're thinking, she's lying. How bad could it be? What the fuck is wrong with you, you stupid idiot? Leave the cup on his fucking face.
Yeah, let that be a scarlet letter, the red solo cup.
For real. Like, okay, cool. Now she's not lying. Now what? Now that's where you eat. You eat through that cup.
This is like a terrible Twilight Zone episode.
Well,
Or Black Mirror, where they just make him keep the Solo cup on.
yeah. And everyone looks at him and goes, yeah, now we know. That guy didn't believe that woman who went viral for this thing was fucking telling the truth. Fuck this person. Trash.
It is mirrored and sprinkled with misogyny for sure.
I didn't want to say it, but I'm glad that I'm, that's what it is. Like, what the fuck?
Nobody hates women as much as everyone hates women.
You know what I do like though?
What do you like?
I like a truck.
Oh, I love a truck. You know
me.
I'm a country girl at heart. I love a truck.
I grew up in Burbank, and we like ourselves some trucks in Burbank for some reason. My first car was a truck, actually. My first 2 cars were trucks.
Me too.
Really? What kind of car did you have? What truck?
I had a 78 Ford.
Uh-huh.
That was lifted and had like a roll bar on it up top. And then it was my dad's, but he was like, "Look, I bought this for you." And I'm like, "Oh, exactly what I wanted, Dad." He'll never listen to this podcast, but
did it come with fucking truck nuts? Like, goddamn.
Basically, it had a white racing stripe down the middle, like across the side. It was the exact same car my dad had when he was in high school.
Oh, wow.
So he like wanted to recreate the magic
for his baby girl.
For his 14-year-old daughter.
14?
That's when I started driving to school.
Oklahoma. Okay. My first car was a Chevy S10, which is a little truck. And then my second car was a Ford F-150. So, we got bigger in the truck department. I've since gone back, like out of curiosity, just like, cause I'll pay for Consumer Reports sometimes, like if I need to buy a big purchase, because I'm 1,000 years old. And so they've got when I was looking for my car, they had all these crash tests and stuff. And I was like, I wonder where my old Chevy S10 was. Thank fucking God I did not get in a head-on collision in that Chevy S10. That thing folds like a cardboard box.
Like an accordion. Yeah.
Like dead. So yeah, thank God. But we did used to play a game. Ooh, do I want to go down this road? Yeah, I've told worse. We used to play a game in high school because high school kids are like always like just like so sexually like frustrated that they like can't get their wits about them. So we used to play this game called Sex.
I've heard of this game.
Like we gotta maybe come up with a better title, but we didn't make it up. So when you're driving and you pass by either a yellow car, a car that's missing a headlight, or I think an out-of-state license got added, which is fucking crazy. Then you have to hit the top of the roof and go sex, and whoever does it last has to lose an item of clothing.
Okay, we used to also play a game similar where we would drive in the country and it's like if we saw animals.
Uh-huh.
And it was called Critter.
Yeah. So I'm in LA, we're calling it Sex. Down in Oklahoma, they call it Critter. It's the same concept.
We used to play Critter.
Critter. Oh my God.
Oh, I should have saved that for a when I'm trash story.
Oh, well, no. Come on. We missed last week. You gotta give everybody.
I gotta give it.
Gotta make up for it. So you'd be like driving to Disneyland or just like loitering around the fucking, city, driving around because we're teenagers. We don't have anything better to do. Just getting like half naked or sometimes like fully naked, depending, in the car. And there'd be like 4 of us in there. I mean, it's fucking chaos, but all of that is a really long segue to our next story.
Yes. According to the tcpalm.com, stolen truck crash suspect naked from the waist down as he ran.
So maybe he was playing sex or critter. That's Florida. He was probably playing critter.
Yeah, spot an alligator.
A man accused of stealing a truck in Palm City before fleeing investigators in the Indian Town area and getting in a crash was arrested, according to records released Wednesday.
Jason Taylor, 43, whose address is listed as unknown, was arrested Tuesday on charges including grand theft motor vehicle, aggravated fleeing and eluding, willful wanton reckless driving, resisting arrest without violence, hit and run, and giving a false name to law enforcement officer, and affidavit states. Damn.
Man, that's a long list.
That's how charges get added up, it's like one bad decision snowballs.
100%. Like, just all he wanted to do was steal a car, and then someone said, let's play critter, and now all of a sudden you've got all kinds of extra business. The case began at 7:37 a.m., way too early for those types of games, Tuesday, as Martin County Sheriff's deputies went to a business in the 3500 block of the Southwest Armilini Avenue in the Palm City about a stolen vehicle. Look at this picture we're painting. The address is just east of the Florida's Turnpike off Southwest Martin Highway for anyone who cares.
So, a little insight into this article. It's written by someone called Will Greenlee. And Greenlee has the offbeat in the TC Palm. And he writes his story sometimes where he will explain everyday things like a man shed. And he'll be like, a man shed is a shed where men can go to retreat and relax. And you're like, yeah, everybody kind of knows what a man shed is, but he just gives random explanations. And so the working theory from the podcast,
Hold on.
Dump People Town.
Man shed?
Yeah.
You mean a man cave?
Sure. Man cave, man shed.
Sex critter. Okay, carry on.
Sex critter.
Literally, you're like, everyone knows what a man shed is. I'm like, I don't fucking know what a man shed is. That was a bad example.
That was a terrible example on my part. But on Dumb People Town, they often read these Greenlee stories because he adds in explanations for everyday things like a convenience store or like what a truck is. So I think he has to hit a minimum of words.
Oh.
And he, like if he's got a 1,200 word deadline and he's only got 800 words, I think he's trying to pad it up.
I see. All right. Well, we'll skim through this then a little bit in a different manner. I did not know that.
Yeah.
We'll say that we'll just whoop. Fine. Later in the morning, the deputy spotted a vehicle he determined to be the one that was reported stolen.
According to the report, the driver, later identified as Taylor, headed east at one point, slammed on the brakes, causing another pickup to hit him. He turned and traveled west in the eastbound lanes before running and stopping through the wetlands area.
Man, I would have watched this chase on television, I'll tell you what. Mm-hmm. Love a car chase. As the defendant was running, some type of skirt as well as a jacket fell off. The defendant was then naked from the waist down as he ran. A skirt and a jacket.
Deputies found him under some vegetation. The man said he knew it was wrong to take the vehicle. He said he wasn't down with stopping, records show.
Totally.
The man gave his name as Tommy Brown, but investigators took his fingerprints and determined out that he was actually Taylor.
Taylor was held Wednesday in the Martin County Jail on a $395,000 bond. Well, at least he knew he was wrong.
Yeah, get a good defense attorney and never admit that you were wrong.
I mean, that's committing crimes 101. Never admit to fault.
Never say, oh, you got me.
It's like, well, that was easy, open and shut. Speaking of, we both want a piece of that.
No, you go.
What were you going to say? Because I was going to say, speaking of open and shut, what were you going to say?
The exact same thing. We should have said it at the same time.
We're finally almost the same person. According to the RollingStone.com, there is a wonderful, wonderful video where you can watch the Trump Plaza Hotel and Casino in Atlantic City blow up.
3,000 sticks of dynamite used to bring down one of the former president's 3 failed New Jersey casinos.
Donald Trump's former Atlantic City hotel and casino, Trump Plaza, was imploded on February 17th, a late Valentine's Day gift for us all.
A nearby parking lot reportedly charged people $10 to park their cars and watch the show.
That, according to the New York Times, by the way, which, not to brag, but is a website that I subscribe to.
And not to brag, but I subscribe to RollingStone.com because I forgot to cancel a free trial.
Well, rock on, Erica.
We're both supporting some type of journalism.
We did it. Trump Plaza opened up in 1984. It was the first of 3 casinos the former U.S. president would open up in Atlantic City, followed by Trump Castle, later renamed the Trump Marina, and Trump Taj Mahal. Hey, if you ever want to know more about this, I think that there's a documentary on Netflix. What's it called? But it talks about Donald Trump and like gets into these kind of business dealings. And these Atlantic City casinos seem to be a bad idea. Trump, an American dream. That's what it's called. But you know what? I watched that during his presidency. If you are just riding high, not knowing much about this guy, don't do it to yourself, little trash can. You don't need to. We'll do it for you.
Yeah. You know, one benefit of this story is that with the plaza alone, he was employing 6,100 workers.
That's a benefit to the fact that their job got blown up?
No, I'm just saying, like, one benevolence was that there were 6,100 jobs, but now they're all crumbled away.
So again, what? You're saying that are you on Trump's side? That he should have opened his casinos because he employed 6,100 people in Atlantic City?
No, I'm just saying it's good that 61 people had jobs at some point.
And now you're saying that the Democratic Socialist machine has now exploded their job in one of the most ham-fisted ways to show how a Democratic president can take away jobs from solid New Jersey workers? Is that what you're trying to say?
No, I feel as if this should be edited out, but it won't be.
You just keep using words like benevolence and, things with like positive connotations. It just makes me feel like, you're kind of sad that it got blown up.
God damn it.
I'm just kidding. Yeah, Trump fucking sucks.
Yeah, and speaking of lazy Democratic Socialist agendas.
According to KVIA.com, Texas mayor quits after calling residents lazy and weak amid power outages from storm.
Colorado City, Texas. The mayor of this Texas town of about 4,000 people stepped down on Tuesday in the wake of a controversial social media post in which he said residents without electricity, water due to a winter storm are lazy and weak, adding that local governments and utility services owe them nothing.
Now, former Colorado City Mayor Tim Boyd called complaining that constituents were socialist and told them the strong will survive and the weak will perish. Let me hurt some feelings while I have a minute. No one owes you or your family anything, nor is it the local government's responsibility to support you during trying times like this. Sink or swim, it's your choice. The city and county, along with power providers or any other service, owe you nothing. Hey, what the fuck is the government for?
Yeah, what do we pay for?
What?
It's an agreement that with our representation, there will be taxation for goods and services.
If you're sitting at home in the cold because you have no power and are waiting for someone to come and rescue you because you are lazy, it's a direct result of your raising. Bottom line, quit crying and looking for your handout. Get off your ass and take care of your own family. Dude, Tim Boyd sucks.
Tim Boyd sucks hard.
What the fuck?
Yeah, that didn't go over well as people are freezing to death in their homes. Their homes are capsizing because of ice and snow on their roofs because they're not used to, it's a fucking nightmare. They're having to boil water.
They're boiling snow.
Boiling snow. The power plants can't treat the water. They can't flush your toilets.
What's going on in Texas is crazy and something that we will probably get into in a bit.
It might be coming up. But our hearts and thoughts are with all of Texas, Oklahoma, basically the whole southeast that's experiencing this cold snap. It's sorry.
Yeah, sorry.
So I just don't know. I'm so sad.
It's fucking crazy. We gotta pivot because we're gonna come back to it.
Yep.
according to the New York Times, a website that I do pay for, not to brag, Gwyneth Paltrow is finally selling vibrators.
The Goop founder also talks about sexual wellness and how she contracted COVID-19 a year ago, probably in Paris.
Cool.
Ooh, what a brag.
I don't know. I probably got COVID-19 a year ago in Paris or something.
She claims to still have antibodies and wants to allow other people to get the vaccine before her.
A real saint. You know, I like she's offering jade eggs and candles that smell like her vagina. So, yeah, why not? Why not put a vibrator in the mix?
Mm-hmm. It's a double-sided wand vibrator, which looks like a candy-colored gelato cone.
Double-sided?
Don't know what that means.
Why? It does. It kind of looks like it's got like a carrot shape. And then where the like leaves from a carrot would come from is like a gold band, and then the leaves, imagine like a big circle. So like
we'll post a photo on our trashy Instagram if you're listening now.
Like why? But are we all supposed to be able to use vibrators both directions? And I didn't know that.
I don't know.
Because it doesn't look like necessarily anything special other than I guess the fact that the bottom is tapered, meaning you could put it in there, but like if the whole fucking thing is shaken, I mean, you gotta get I don't know. What's going on, Gwyneth? I've turned on her.
Oh, this is the final straw? A double-sided wand vibrator is
I enjoyed her show on Netflix, okay? I know that jade eggs are horrible for your body and that you shouldn't do it and she shouldn't push them, but I enjoyed her Goop show on Netflix, okay?
Well, maybe you'll be disappointed that the vibrator is sold out.
Damn it. Ugh,
but at $95... Oh.
Sorry, keep going.
At $95, it might even be called affordable, at least in comparison to the $15,000 gold dildo that she once recommended in a Goop newsletter.
Man, it must be weird to just exist as Gwyneth Paltrow. Okay, so massage ball on one side and a wand on the other, 8 pulsating patterns for each, meaning 64 possible combinations, or a different daily sensation for 2 months of quarantine. That's just silly.
It's excessive.
It's excessive, right? Like, who needs it?
I'm fine without. But I'm not lonely.
Oh, I'm not lonely either.
But you know who is?
A Florida man?
Oh, yep. According to the NewYorkPost.com, Florida man caught masturbating in Walmart parking lot told cops he was lonely.
Well, you're free to go then.
Oh, he's invoked lonely. He's invoked the 5th of loneliness.
Yeah, so he was arrested for masturbating in the parking lot in Florida Walmart, and he said that it was because he missed his girlfriend. I don't know where she is.
Yeah, the incident happened Wednesday in Vero Beach, according to the police report obtained by thesmokinggun.com.
Cops were called after a shopper noticed the suspect's self-love session inside of a Kia parked outside of a store. Now, you can't do that, okay? Us Kia owners, we're just getting over the hamster, okay? I don't go a day in my life where someone doesn't make a comment that I drive a Kia.
What do you mean getting past the hamster?
Because when the Kia Souls came out, which is what I drive, their ads were all the dancing hamsters in there.
Oh, great. Oh, great. Now I remember. Thank you for clarifying. According to the tipster, the Walmart wanker had the driver's side window down and performing the highly visible lewd act in broad daylight.
Arriving officers said they found hard evidence of 26-year-old Kyle Weiss's guilt. I noticed that he had an obvious erection protruding his shorts, the cop noted. Oh, it's the same cop who found the toilet paper?
Again, give them a raise.
So much good police work.
Weiss initially told the police he was at Walmart because he is an Uber Eats driver and choked under further questioning.
He eventually confessed he was performing a sex act on himself because he is lonely as his ex-girlfriend is in Colorado. The Denver resident told police he did not realize he could be seen playing with himself. An easy mistake.
Happens to the best of us.
I didn't know. I look, should I have had my window rolled up? Yes. Like, was I fucking making weird squealy sounds? Yeah. But this is Walmart, baby.
Anything goes. No rules, just right. Walmart.
What's that the actual catchphrase for? Outback?
Think Outback.
Yeah. Or like something Australian for sure. Man, I could go to I miss going out to eat so much that like I would go to an Outback right now.
Oh, 100. I would go ham on a bloomin' onion. I would get the steak. I would get those rolls. I would go insane.
There was a Outback Steakhouse in Burbank that like when I moved out of my house, like or my mom's place, I should say, I would sometimes meet up with her for lunch there because they had a lunch special and they had a really good wedge salad.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I don't doubt it. You know what it is? It's consistent. It's not my favorite steakhouse, but you know exactly what you're going to get in Burbank, California or Lawton, Oklahoma.
You know what would be crazy though is if you said it was your favorite steakhouse. When we both know that your favorite steakhouse is Sizzler.
God damn it, it is. I love a Sizzler.
I hope they survived the pandemic, Erica, because the one in Burbank got turned into a dentist's office.
I feel as if they are all going under, unfortunately.
Man, I mean,
they haven't been doing takeout. They haven't, you know what I mean? Like,
how fucking could they do takeout? They already cooked the steaks wrong. Sorry. I'm sorry. I shouldn't come for Sizzler like that.
You know what else you shouldn't come as?
What?
You shouldn't dress as a granny to get the second COVID-19 vaccine.
According to NPR, which is a real news source.
Yes, reputable, publicly funded, underwritten by sponsors like these.
2 Florida women disguised themselves as elderly grandmothers in an unsuccessful attempt to get their second doses of the COVID-19 vaccine. This was submitted to us by a listener, by the way, Maya.
Thank you so much, Maya.
LA. So I get nervous about this because I thought don't you get an appointment for your second dose no matter what? Like, can't you just show up with your little card and go, I need my second dose, please? Or the first one that you gave me is null.
Yeah, it's unclear if they were just dressing like grannies for fun or how they got. I assumed once you got the first shot, you had the card and then the follow-up was just
like nanny poo poo, like I win. Like, so maybe they dressed up as old people the first time. And then like the second time they like flew too close to the sun and were like, oh, man, if they believed it last time, they're going to fucking lose their minds this time because I bought bonnets.
The Orange County Sheriff's Office told NPR over email that the women's ages are 34 and 44. Florida is currently prioritizing vaccines for adults 65 and older, healthcare personnel, and long-term care facility residents and staff.
The date of birth on their driver's license did not match those they had used to register for the vaccines, though their names did. The health department personnel asked the deputies to issue trespass warnings and no other law enforcement action was taken. So, slap on the wrist. Get on home, Granny.
Get on home, girl. Get on home. Little disappointed with their take on that. I mean, I want people to get the vaccine, but a little more than a slap on the wrist feels appropriate.
No, we know better than anything that those cops in Florida are busy.
They've got a lot to do. They've got parking lot masturbators.
Mm-hmm. Rick Santorum. Wait, is he Texas? Rick Santorum. That's not even his name, is it? Rick Santorum. Who am I thinking of? Who's the Texas guy whose name is Rick?
Abbott? Greg Abbott?
Rick Scott? It's Rick Scott. Yuck. Weirdo. He's the governor of Florida. Ew!
According to our next story, again from NPR.org, it's as if we are journalists.
Journalism. Some pageant contestants hit a hump in the road this week. That is, a camel beauty contest in Saudi Arabia disqualified dozens of camels for receiving Botox injections to make them more attractive. That's mean.
I think that whatever enhancements you want to do, you should be able to do.
By the way, if we get to 100 reviews by the end of February, that's 8 more days, Eric and I will be getting lip injections. Don't let us down.
Don't let us down. We'll document it on the Trashy Trashy Instagram, which is Trashy Trashy Pod.
Wow, look at that. Saudi media reported that a veterinarian was caught performing plastic surgery on camels a few days before the pageant. In addition to the injections, the clinic was surgically reducing the size of the animal's ears to make them appear more delicate. Ooh.
Ooh, what a small-eared camel is what I've always said.
Gorgeous.
They use Botox for the lips, the nose, the upper lips, the lower lips, and even the jaw, says Ali Al-Mazrui, a regular at such festivals and the son of a prominent Emirati breeder, told the newspaper. It makes the head more inflated, so when the camel comes in, it's like, ooh, look at how big that head is. It has big lips and big nose.
Basically, I guess the camel standard of beauty is like, do you look like the one on the cigarette box? Because that's the sexiest fucking camel that any of us have ever seen. 57 million is awarded to the winners of the contests and camel races. Holy shit. Don't you get like $100,000 and like a couple like tickets on a coach plane to if you win like Miss America?
Yeah.
And Donald Trump like fondles you?
100%.
57 million. No wonder they're fucking.
Well, there's 31.8 million just for the pageant. That's woo.
The festival provides a number of informative graphics about camels, including a diagram titled Standards of Camel Beauty. It is unspecific about what makes for handsome nostrils and withers, though it does mention a leathery mouth. Damn.
Oh, a leathery mouth.
When we get our lip injections at the end of the month because we get 100 reviews, I sure hope the word leathery doesn't come up.
You don't understand. Like, I want 100 reviews so badly, but I am sick to death thinking about lip injections. I'm scared.
You're scared?
Yeah.
I'm a little scared too.
Okay, good.
But we want them.
We want them badly.
We're just nervous.
We're just a little nervous.
So in your review, give us, a little reason not to be nervous.
Yeah, if you've had lip injections, write in. Let us know how it is.
Please. I tell you what, though, I've been catching myself on Zoom, and I really do need to touch up the old Botox department up on the forehead.
I also feel as if I need the Botox on the forehead, maybe a little around the eyes.
Around the eyes now, huh?
Or wherever it goes. I've only had it in the forehead. I'm terrible about knowing the difference between fillers and Botox and where you need which.
Fillers is like the one, it does what it says it's going to do. It fills.
Yeah, I need a little filler around the eyes.
No, Erica. Well, you know what? I don't mean it that way. If it'll make you happy. I thought you were saying Botox around the eyes because you were getting crow's feet. Because that's like, I can't see.
Oh, I don't think I'm getting crow's feet.
No, I don't think so either. Honestly, you're a pillar of youth and beauty.
Oh, you're too kind. And I don't see your Botox need, but I feel you on what you feel.
You know what I do see? And this isn't a visual medium. You got a bandana on right now that's so cute. But the way that it sits, like in the computer, like how I see you on Zoom, it looks like you're going to fly away. Looks like it's going to start spinning the little ties of the bandana and float you away. Anyways, so they're cheating on these camel Botoxes.
Yeah. And you know what? I think camels are probably beautiful just the way they are bred and just the way they are.
Yeah, we need like the Lizzo of camels to come out and make us all feel better.
Feeling good as hell.
Feeling camel. I don't. What are camels like? Drinking water.
Keeping it in my hump.
I don't think that's true.
Oh, they don't?
That's an old wives' tale. I read about that recently.
Oh, well, good for them.
Are you mad?
Yeah, what the hell are the humps for?
I don't know. It's like a defect. I don't know.
I would love to know that evolutionary chain, but...
Do you really, though?
Yeah, I took one of my favorite classes I took in college was a natural history class where we just talked about like why some squirrels grow web between their paws and some don't, or why different ears sizes happen in different animals and
Critters 101.
critters, man. Critters has always been on the brain.
Are you ready?
Oh, I'm pissed ready. Yes.
Because it's time for the dumpster fire of the week. My kids are cold. So we said I had to shut down all the Florida talk before because I knew what was coming. And I think that a savvy listener and also someone who's been existing this last week knows what's coming. Knows what's coming. Senator Ted Cruz, the Zodiac killer himself.
Allegedly.
Well, he decided to go. He decided to go to Cancun while everyone in Texas lost power. There's people freezing to death. They're boiling snow. They're shitting in bags. But Ted Cruz said, "You know what? Time for the sunny beaches of Cancun in Mexico."
With school canceled for the week, our girls asked us to take a trip with friends. Wanting to be a good dad, I flew down with them last night and flying back this afternoon.
You know what?
Cruise,
Good dads do their fucking jobs.
good dads do their fucking jobs, and there's a text message thread that was turned over to the New York Times. Somebody on Ted Cruz's wife's text chain turned over text. So your own friends are snitching on you that he bought that return ticket at like 6 o'clock in the morning.
Oh, damn. I didn't know that.
No, his intention was to stay. He is lying about this turnaround trip.
Bro. I fucking hate this guy. Ooh, I don't like Ted Cruz at all. I do not like this man, Ted Cruz.
I do not like this man, Ted Cruz. I do not like him small. I do not like him tall.
I do not like him with a beard. I do not like him without a beard.
I do not like this man at all.
I do not like this man, Ted Cruz. He fucking sucks. And like he would. Trump called your wife ugly, and you stuck by Trump the whole time, and you're ruining everything in this country, and frankly, you're ruining the democratic socialist agenda. But even beyond that, you're ruining everything. And then you have the fucking nerve to go to Cancun, like where, by the way, no one's bringing up COVID right now. Mexico is not the place to go and fucking travel right now.
It's got the third highest rate of infection in the world.
I am both surprised and yet not surprised. The internet has been doing wonderful things.
Yeah, there's footage of Cruz at the airport in the Delta Lounge, I believe.
He's like drinking soup or something.
Good God. Who drinks soup? I mean, I do sometimes, but
I drink soup. Damn, that's relatable.
damn, that's relatable of him.
Fuck.
Damn. Everything else we've said we've got to take back.
Fuck. All right. The trip made sense.
What a just shit weasel to abandon your constituents when, again, they don't have power. They don't have water. People are having to get warmed up in buses around the city. There's like warming stations. Churches are having to open.
And he said his girls were cold for 2 days and asked to go to Mexico. How old are his fucking kids? Let me find this out. Ted Cruz daughter's age. Okay. One of them is 12 and the other one is 10. What does Mama Curry say if you're a 12-year-old and they're asking to go to Cancun because you're cold in the middle of the winter?
Oh, and I'd like ice cubes in hell, but it's not going to happen. Daddy, can we go to Mexico, please?
Come on. And also rude. He can't even own up and go, like, I think I would respect this a little bit more if he said, yeah, I took the temperature of this, no pun intended, completely wrong.
Mm-hmm.
I was cold. My family was cold. I thought, let's go to Mexico. I see now the error of my ways. But instead, he's blaming his children.
Just a sprinkling of misogyny again.
He is a fucking slimy, slimy little slug. I hope that he is not reelected. I already would hope that in general, but I hope that, like, I don't know, Texas people are pretty tough. Like, I think that despite the like political waverings of how Texas has been working in general, like, I'm not saying that they're going to necessarily elect a Democrat, but it's kind of like how it's been here in California, where everyone who's a Democrat like still hates Gavin Newsom.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, okay, we might vote along party lines, but like we're just going to replace you with a different Democrat then, because you fucking suck. I think that Ted Cruz is going to be facing a pretty similar fate.
And see, I think that this memory will fade faster than what we think, and that he will be reelected again.
Really?
I feel like he's done some of the worst, and they just have a short memory. You know, we have a societal short memory, and that he will be reelected again.
We as a society, like me, maybe the most Americans won't remember this, like with all the reasons that are of the worst thing he's done, but like, when have you forgotten shitting in a bag?
It never leaves my mind.
And when have you forgotten the floor of your house frozen because a pipe burst and your house flooded and then froze? Like, they're not going to forget that time that their fucking houses were a skating rink and their stupid senator decided to go to Cancun. Like, I'm telling you, I have faith that Texas is not going to fucking, they're not going to be happy with this guy, and then they're going to get rid of him.
Remember the Alamo. Maybe they do have longer memories than I'm giving them credit for. So if they still remember the Alamo and what that stood for, may they still vote out Ted Cruz.
What the hell did the Alamo stand for? I don't remember. I don't remember the Alamo. My apologies to our listeners. Listen.
You don't remember the Alamo? It was the last stand.
Against who?
Against General something. Look up this story so I can be redeemed.
You got it. Now?
No, it's okay. We'll drop it.
Yeah, fuck Ted Cruz. He's certified garbage.
Also left home their dog, Snowflake, their poodle, Snowflake.
Okay, I'm not going to come to Ted Cruz's defense, but I'm going to need more sources on that, because I saw that too, but that seems beyond. I don't know why. I think that there's like suddenly like the capability to, you know, not do something like that, but I don't know if that one's true. I don't think that they just were like, yeah, pack your bags. We're going to leave the dog to freeze. That seems a little bit more.
I'm sure somebody was dog sitting or staying for them. As a former professional dog sitter, dog walker.
Would you poop in their house?
100%.
You pooped in the houses that you went to do like dog walking?
Yeah. They weren't home.
Did you know these people, or was this like a service like WAG?
This was like a service that I worked for. And then I went indie as well.
If I found out that a WAG worker came into my house and took a shit, they better have been running on those cameras, and that's like no leisurely stroll.
I'll defend it to my dying day. Like, I can't just go to my house in between walks. Like, I had a route, 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. I was taking dogs out. And, like, stuff happens in between walks.
Someone's got to take out Erica.
Yeah, I had to take myself out.
Wow. What a wild episode with a lot of talk about poop.
Yeah, we don't normally have this much scat conversation, but thank you for sticking with us.
Thank you for sticking with us in general, you guys. We really do love all of our fans and all of our reviews and all of our emails and all of our things. You are helping us along this journey of realizing that we're not perfect people.
No, and just thank you again. Like, from the bottoms of our heart, for sticking with us and listening every week and telling a friend. Like, it makes me emotional, and I really missed last week.
I know, I missed it too. I'm really sorry, you guys. What are you hoarding?
I am hoarding a documentary on HBO called Lady in the Dale.
Ooh, what that about?
Well, it's about a three-legged car
What?
or three-wheeled car.
Okay.
It's about a three-wheeled car
Hmm.
and the person behind it. And that's it sounds very vague, but you got to give it a couple episodes and like truly take in this wild story.
What's it called again?
The Lady in the Dale.
Okay.
It's again a wild story that I highly recommend everybody pick up. I think it's 4 parts, an hour each. It's an investment of your time, but it's worth it.
Okay. Great.
Yeah. What are you hoarding this week?
I need to fucking find the name of it. God damn it. Okay, I found it. I am hoarding this week. There's a show on Gimlet, which is another podcast. It's called The Test Kitchen.
Mhm.
And it is about the scandals that happened at Bon Appetit, which is a food magazine.
Uh-huh.
All their scandals of like racism and all that kind of stuff. I think there's 2 episodes out now. It's just interesting, and you're hearing it from the perspective of like, all the people of color who worked at, this magazine for so many years. And it's just interesting because it touches on the topic of like, hey, like if you weren't either aware that this kind of stuff has happened at wherever you work, you weren't on the receiving end of it, then you might have been doing it. I mean, it really touches on a lot of like forms of microaggressions that it's just really interesting to listen to. Hopefully it teaches people lessons. I'm sure that there's been times in my life where I could have stood up better or at all when things were wrong. And so it's been an interesting thing to listen to. And yeah.
I remember when that all went down. Like we were watching them, as it was happening essentially.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So check that out. Are you throwing anything out?
I'm throwing away electronic vacuum cleaners, like vacuum robots.
Yes.
It's a
Yes.
it's a
Yes.
pain in the ass to babysit them.
Yes, Erica. Fucking finally.
They're not a miracle like everybody treats them. They're annoying. They do a good job, but you got to babysit them. And it's like, I'd rather just fucking vacuum for 5 minutes than babysit this thing for as it runs for an hour.
It takes so fucking long. It's like if you have the kind of flat house, where you can just put your chairs up, turn that shit on and walk away. Like I know people who have that situation and they like their vacuum, but like that ain't my life and that's not yours. And so all this thing does is like howl at the top of its lungs and scream for an hour and then get stuck in fucking corners or against stairs. So it's like there is no leaving the house and coming back for it. Like, yeah, it's a bummer.
The Jetsons sold me a lie.
You want it to work because I got one for Christmas a few years ago and I wanted it to work better and it just didn't. And I have a vacuum now that takes me 10 minutes to get the whole fucking house and get it good.
Mm-hmm. Are you throwing anything away?
Man, I mean, that fired me up what you just did. That really fired me up. I can't think of anything that I hate more than that. I am throwing out what's been grinding my gear. Oh, I'm throwing out 0-degree weather.
Mm-hmm.
When I was in Colorado, the temperature ranged from I think a high of 9 and a low of below 0. It's been a while since I've been in weather like that. So I'm throwing that out on behalf of all of our listeners who are dealing with that. Obviously, we've talked a lot about Texas and what they're going through, and I hope that everyone gets out of that okay, and that they themselves or don't know any loved ones who die from that. But there's also like just in other states across the country, like a lot of states are going through a lot of things, really super intense cold weather. So I'm throwing that shit out. Sorry that you're going through that. I hope you guys have warm jackets and comfy socks. And sorry that climate change is happening.
There are several mutual aid funds. We posted a couple on our Trashy Trashy Instagram, but you can Venmo directly to at Feed the People Dallas, at Mutual Aid HOU for Houston, Austin at Austin Mutual Aid, or at Austin Mutual Aid Hotels. In San Antonio, you can Venmo at Trinity Mutual Aid.
Yeah, check that out on our Instagram. Help if you can. I know that we're going to, and that's, yeah, I really hope that everyone is okay. Everywhere outside of Southern California where it's really, really cold, because that's not pleasant.
Where can the people find you, Cass?
At Cass Cardenas on Instagram and Twitter, and live every Tuesday night on the Smodco Radio Network on the Nooner Podcast. Where do they find you?
At Iconic Erica Curry on Instagram. And you can always find us at Trashy Trashy Pod on Instagram and on Twitter. Or you can email us in your story or tell us why you're trash at trashytrashypodcast@gmail.com.
Yeehaw.
Yeehaw. Hey, Cass.
What's going on, girl?
Stay garbage.
You stay garbage, Erica.
Bye.
Bye-bye.